It's time for the July layoffs recaps. I have 95 companies that are laying off, and I have them organized by industry so you can spot the trends for yourself. My name is April. Thanks for visiting my channel. I do videos on tech and news. So let's get rolling with the first companies are in the cybersecurity space. I'm reading behind the camera. I have Transmit Security, 7% of staff, and Arete Security, unknown amount of staff. Appgate Cybersecurity, 22% of staff. In June and May, I saw more cybersecurity companies laying off, so it's definitely a trend. Next, I have Education with 3 companies. 2U Education, unknown amount of layoffs. Career Karma Education Tech, 33% of the staff. OutSchool, an e-learning company, 18% of staff. Now in travel, I have 3 companies. Wonderjaunt, which is an Airbnb competitor, earlier this month, they went out of business completely. I have I have Lyft laying off 2% of their staff, which is, I think, 60 people, a significant number. Rad Power Bikes, which is an e-bike company, kind of like Bird, is laying off 10% of their staff. In the fitness industry, I have 3 companies. Tonal, which is a Peloton rival, an exercise company, laid off 35% of staff. I know Peloton has changed their model to no longer produce their own bikes either, so they're not doing so well in the space. Whoop, a digital fitness coach company, laid off 15% of staff. Hydro, a fitness product, laid off 35% of staff. Next, I have insurance. In June and May, I saw insurance companies as well, so that trend is still going on. Next, insurance is 17% of staff. Thimble, an insurance company, 33% of staff. And Metro Mile, which is auto insurance, 20% of staff. I know Metro Mile has worked with agency recruiters that cost a lot of money. The next category is events, which is 3 companies. Hubilo, a virtual event company, laid off 12% of staff. Hopin, a virtual event company, 29% of staff. I think that's a cool app where you get deals on flights. Sad. Bizaboo, an event production operating system company, laid off 30% of staff. We have marketing, 4 companies. Emotive, SMS marketing, 18%. AdWorks, consumer relationship ads, 25%. Outbrain, a marketing company, 3% of staff. They must have a big company, big staff. Aspire, e-comm marketing, 15% of staff. E-comm is another category you'll see later in the video. Next, I have the automotive industry. I have Canoe, an electrical vehicle startup, 6% of staff. Argo AI, software for self-driving, 5% of staff. Riven, an electric vehicle company, 6% of staff. So EVs are not doing too well. The next category I have is, I have real estate. Kayavi, a real estate loan company, 7% of staff. Fly Homes Real Estate, 20% of staff. Ribbon Real Estate, 136 people. I'm not sure the percentage, should have looked that up. And we have Loan Depot, who paid bundles of money to recruiters to hire during the 2020 to 2021 real estate boom, really laid off 42% of its staff. That's huge. Next is financial companies. Celsius, crypto company, 25%. Ignite, crypto company, 50%. OpenSea, an NFT company, 20% of staff. Gemini, crypto, 7% of staff. M1 Investments, 38% of staff. And Varo, online banking, I'm not sure if this is correct, don't quote me, 75% of staff. That's a lot. Next, we have the entertainment sector. I'm bending down to see. Spring, creator merch company, unknown amount of staff. Twitter, laid off an unknown amount of people. Sunday Sky, interactive video company, 13% of staff. Vox Media, digital media company, 2% of staff. TikTok, unknown amount of staff. Vimeo, another video company, 6% of staff. And BlueStack, a mobile gaming company, laid off what seems to be 60% of the staff. Don't quote me on that one. Next, I have the AI/cloud/data space, a category I made up with 9 companies laying off. Vertbit, AI transcripting company, 10%. Scream, data analytics acceleration, 18%. Next role, a data platform, 3%. Teleport, a tech infrastructure connector, 6% of staff. Unstoppable Domains, a Web3 company, 25% of staff. Smarsh, cloud-based finance, software, I'm not sure, unknown amount of staff. Callisto Media, AI/data, 25% of staff. And Wizline, an unknown amount of staff. So now we are getting into the bigger categories. I believe I have 3 categories left with the most layoffs happening in June. Starting off with a category I made up. It's business SaaS/PaaS companies, software or platform companies. Dover, recruiting software, 30% of staff. Ramesh, IT support software, unknown amount of staff. Arc, AR software, 13% of staff. Lucia, a contact info hacking company used for mostly recruiting, 10% of staff. The Mom Project, a talent marketplace, recruiting, 15% of staff. Mural, a business platform, unknown amount. Envision, a business platform, 50% of staff. Remote, an HR remote solutions company, 9% of staff. Parallel Wireless, which is used in the business sense, unknown amount of staff. And People AI, a sales platform, unknown amount of staff. Now, this next category I mentioned earlier in the video, and it's a bit more of an obvious group, but it is e-comm. The e-comm industry is not doing well. They did really well during the COVID peak, so it's not super surprising to see e-comm in this space, but I have Chow Now, a snack startup, unknown amount of staff. Go Puff, a snack company, 10% of staff. Butler Hospitality, pop-up kitchen, out of business completely. Next Bite, a virtual kitchen, unknown amount of staff. Victoria's Secrets has laid off 160 managers, which was supposedly a big deal. GameStop, a gaming company whose stock has been really popular, is somehow still laying off staff, an unknown amount. Fabric, an e-comm logistics company, 40% of staff. Shelf Engine, grocery delivery, 43% of staff. Ooh, Imperfect Foods, food delivery for quote imperfect foods, 40% of staff. Lunchbox, food ordering management, 33% of staff. Allbirds, the cool shoe company that got really popular really quick, especially with techies, 23% of staff. Freshly Food, 25% of staff. And Boosted Commerce, as an Amazon retail marketing kind of company, 5% of staff. And now we have the number 1 category for July with the most layoffs. I have 16 companies. Drum roll. It is healthcare, and that is really shocking because the period of the quarantine did slow down a lot of progress in the medical industry, and the medical industry has been looking forward to the future of a quicker progression in developing new solutions and ideas in the medical industry. But here we see 16 healthcare companies are laying off. So something's going on. Either the healthcare industry has been inspired to grow faster than it needs to because of COVID, or there's just a problem with the staffing. I have another video on my channel I'll have in the description below talking about why understaffing is going to become more common in the healthcare industry. But let's get into the companies laying off. I have Let's Get Checked, a healthcare testing company, unknown amount of staff. Forward, an AI healthcare company. I put it in healthcare because it's more of a healthcare than AI company, but 5% of staff. Ohio Health, an unknown amount of staff. Alto Health, an unknown amount of staff. I know Alto uses agency recruiters. Cedar, affordable healthcare, 25% of staff. Papa, companionship for older adults, 15% of staff. Elimi, autism healthcare, unknown amount of staff. Pact Pharma, 70% of staff. Capsule, e-pharmacy, Capsule, an e-pharmacy company, 25% Capsule, an e-pharmacy company, 13% of staff. Olive, a IoT healthcare company, I still put under the healthcare category, 31% of staff. Invitae, genetic testing, it's a great company. They've also used agency recruiters, but they try to find patterns in diseases through gathering patient data and using AI to organize it. Unfortunately, they laid off 30% of their staff. That's sad for the advancement of healthcare in society in general, but let's keep going with 98.6, a Tex healthcare company, 10% of staff. Real Self Healthcare, 5% of staff. Clarify Healthcare, a healthcare analytics company, 5% of staff. Included Health, 6% of staff. And Pear Therapeutics also uses agency recruiters for the difficult roles, I will say, 9% of staff. So there you have it. We have a few other companies I couldn't fit into any other categories, starting with Appeal Sciences, a plant-based shelf life extension company, unknown amount of staff. Project 44, a logistics company. Now, back in May, I saw a lot more logistic companies laying off. They only laid off 5% of staff at Project 44. Turntide, an energy conservation company, laid off 20% of staff. Change.io, a protest company, laid off 19% of staff. But it's important to note, it's not just these tech companies you may have never heard of that are laying off. Also, Oracle, Netflix, Shopify, and Lyft have all announced layoffs. So I would say that we are officially in the tech bubble burst, the tech startup bubble burst. I know Oracle is not a startup, but it's definitely one of the companies that competes for candidates with Lyft and Netflix and these other companies. So we are here. I'm going to have more news about the tech bubble burst on my channel. Please subscribe to this channel, and you can check out playlists I have about tech news. I did not gather. In July, there were a little bit less layoffs than in June, but I expect to see the number of people being laid off increase in August, possibly continue to increase until September. I have a video coming up tomorrow that explains why these tech layoffs will not be increasing the unemployment number. So Biden can keep talking about low unemployment numbers, even as these big tech companies and small tech companies alike are laying off certain percentages of their staff, or like you heard, going out of business completely. Thanks for watching this video and checking out my channel. Hopefully subscribing. I'll see you in the next one.